So Rocket, the injury theme has continued this week with 3 forced changes and 5 changes in total. Jack Martin's going to play, he's been cleared for concussion, but can you tell us the ins?
The ins, obviously with Tom Nichols out, Jack Smith will take his spot. Zach's form's been really good, to be honest, in the seconds. His attitude's been terrific. Fortunately, we've tried a few times this year, we've struggled to take the 2 rucks in, so he's a great replacement. Rory Thompson's back, just a couple of weeks with an ankle injury, so he'll be able to play tall defender, because obviously they've got a few tall forwards, Essendon, so that's a very good in for us. Henry Shade went back last week and played extremely well in the NEFL team, 29 possessions, so he'll be back in defence. Sean Lemons as a replacement for Jared Harbrow, so his form's been okay in the reserves. And Danny Stanley, whose form really for the last 3 weeks has been very good, so he certainly deserves his chance, so he'll give us an option up forward as well through the midfield. Roy
Thompson's an important inclusion, given you mentioned they're high. They've got Joe Danaher and Carl Hooker and Jay Carlisle that play up forward.
Yes, yeah, his form's been a bit patchy. Rory hasn't had a real run at it. He's had probably 3 different injuries this year, which has been unfortunate for him. So hopefully that, it's going to be a big ask for him first up, but with his experience and his height, he's a good addition for us.
Jesse Lonergan's had some big roles in the last month, sort of some run with roles. Can you give us an insight into the instructions he given? Doesn't seem to play a hard tag, but he has been going with Cochin last week and Thompson before that.
Yeah, Cochin last week he was very good, wasn't he? I thought he did extremely well. It's not a real hard tag. It's mainly a stoppages as a starting point to be able to, because he's playing on very good players. They're going to take him to the ball, so he backs himself in those situations. But his pressure around the ball has been very good. His body, because he's got a bigger body as well. He's got the ability to get out of the stoppage. So we've seen incremental improvement every week for Jesse. So hopefully gives him enough confidence so he can finish the season off well, and he can head into next year with a thought and confidence that he can be our best 22.
Danny Stanley had a long injury layoff and he's played the last 3 weeks in the twos. Where do you see him playing? He's played everywhere.
Yeah, he'll play a bit of everywhere again. With our midfield that's been decimated, having said that, the guys that have played in there have done really well for us, which is pleasing. So he'll be given some added assistance in there, bigger body at the stoppages. Is a natural forward, so he'll be able to play there as well because his marking is quite strong, but can give us some coverage down back.
You're a little bit critical of Aaron Hall's second half in your post-match press conference on the weekend. Is that indicative of his form, his improvement in the last month? Because he seems to have really lifted again. Yeah,
his form in the second half last week was okay. Just there was 3 or 4 things that crept back into his game that we've been trying to coach out of his game. So I suppose as a coach you tend to harp on those sort of things that you don't like seeing in his game, in a player's game. But his form since the Adelaide game the last 4 weeks has been very good. So we've been really pleased with him. So we found another midfielder. So next year when our 4 gun midfielders come back, we can add a depth there. So add Richatelli to it, him, Hawley, Lonergan, Jack Martin want to play there, Harley as well. So we've got 8 or 9 players now, which is great.
Has that been one of the positives out of the second half of this year? When you know that you need more than the 4 to 6 midfielders in a midfield this year?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt. No, we haven't got enough runners in the team at the moment. I think with the new high performance managers coming as well, we believe our conditioning and our fitness will go to another level. So that'll add to that as well as having the options to go through the midfield.
And just lastly, big situation at Essendon this week with her going out and a caretaker coach. Is there any focus on that at all? Do you mention that, or is it business as usual?
It's mainly business as usual. I think the only thing we've spoken about is that when a coaching change is made, that there's generally a spike in performance. So we'll expect them to play a little bit differently, probably freed up a little bit more, but certainly, their first quarter's been very good. A month ago, they only just lost to Port Adelaide, so the last 3 weeks have been down for them, but they're a proud club with a lot of history. So we expect it to be a fairly tough contest.